So we're inside the church now, and let's have a look round. I'm heading or facing directly towards the east end of the church and the altar. But let me just bring you back round here. The west door, normally the main entrance, is not central and much smaller than the north and south doors. And this is where the south door would have been, just here. And then we've got the north door, which is just here. And this they're much higher, and this suggests that the north and south door were built high enough to admit men on horseback. The north aisle was actually added in 13th century. Let's just head down towards the chancel. Added in the 13th century is the early English style with lancet windows and glazed Victorian glass. Let's just have a look at this. It's got this wall art here. Beautiful. But the altar is the original stone one from before the Reformation. But Henry VIII ordered all stone altars to be destroyed. Parishioners had it or hid it, and it was later found and reinstalled in 1937. So this is quite amazing that this is still here, and it's the original altar. Fantastic. Just to the side of it, we've got a piscina. And we've got these beautiful stained glass windows. That one's on the south side, and these are the east end. And as you quite often see in churches, you've got these large headstones set into the floor of the church, and this is actually in the chancel area. As I mentioned earlier on the outside about the nave roof being raised, it was actually raised in the 14th century, and that's when the lancet windows were fitted. Directly on the west end of the church we've got the font, and I believe that dates from the 13th century, and this looks like quite a solid lump of stone just here, fairly plain around the bowl of the font, but set on a stone. Let me just go back and have a look at these wall paintings. And they date from around King John, 1189 to 1199. And at one point it must have been covered up and then uncovered during some work that's being done here. Quite interesting, got this little stone where a stone's been removed from the wall there. The south aisle, which is 14th century. And we've got this is like a little lady chapel. And again, there's a little piscina there. Rather lovely. And it got the remembrance there for 1914, 1918. It gives you the names, and this is all done in needlework, of the men that went to war and didn't come home again. something of note is these doors, the oak doors to the tower, were presented by the Home Guard in memory of the men of the 2nd Division Canadian Army who fell in the raid in Dieppe on the 19th of August 1942. And interestingly, just up to the left of the west doors, you've got this window that's set right back in. And by looking at that, you can see how the depth of the walls are, but they were saying they're 4 feet 6 thick. It's just astonishing. And just look at these, on these, at the side of the, you can see the thickness of the walls there, and that's leading out into, I can't open these doors unfortunately. Oh yes we can. There we go. Look, that gives you a better shot of the door, of the width of the walls. Isn't that amazing? Well, this is underneath the bell tower, and there are 6 bells, and they are in a key of G and are regularly rung, and 3 are dated 1656 and 1669, and 2 at 1928. And we've got the clock face there, but it's not a working clock. We've got the pipe, the organ pipes there, and all this work you see here, the new looking oak, and there's toilets in there. This is all new work that's been done, as is this here, which is rather lovely to have the old and the mix of the old and the new together. Just over here on the north aisle, we've got the Wisborough tapestry. The 3 panels show the west, centre and east areas of the village, and the tapestry began in 1977 and unveiled in 1985. And it just depicts the typical village scene of cricket and football there, and stall ball. The lady in the middle is a stall baller, which is lovely. Beautiful piece of work that is. There's this window here, and there's a little inscription at the bottom. This glass was made locally, so 16th century, commemorates the principal glassmakers then working in this parish, the Bongers and Corcays from Normandy, and the Hensels and Theories from Lorraine from dedicated 1968. Now, if I've got that pronunciation wrong, which I probably have, but the panel is made up of bits of glass. It's actually the southeast window, and it's Victorian. It's in the south wall, and it's just a small window which is glazed from fragments of glass found locally, were made during the reign of Elizabeth I. But what I might do actually is just ask Cynthia if she can come over here and see if she can read that inscription so it makes more sense than what I've just said. Now, Cynthia, can you, I don't know if you can get in by that there, can you see that? Yeah.
This glass, made locally, 1600, commemorates the principal glassmakers then working in this parish, the Bangers and Conquerors from Normandy, and the Hensels and Theories from Lorraine, dedicated 1968.
Perfectly said.
Now, did you notice, ladies and gentlemen, that Kevin never asked me to read that?
May I add, this is because Steve didn't have his glasses on.
Mine are over there.
Next time, Steve, I'll ask you.
No.
No. One other point that we've just been talking about, Cynthia, Steve and I, and is the height of the roof. And of course, as I mentioned just now, it was all raised up in the 14th century. Assumingly, they think that the roof was too low for some reason, but I'm guessing, this is a real guess now, just along the top of that arch is a line that runs right across, and I wonder if that's where the original height would have been.
I was just thinking another reason, Kev, that they may have raised it is to get, when they sing, you get reverberation.
Oh yeah, very good point, Steve.
Like
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
roof was too low and they weren't getting the
The sound right. Yeah, yes, good point. Acoustics, yeah. But this is and we're all just saying, this is a lovely, lovely church. It's so bright and airy, and it's just lovely. Really is lovely. Traditional pews, right across the church from the north aisle to the south aisle. But I think the one standout thing for me is the altar. And something that Cynthia and I said just now, she asked me what struck me about the altar. And my one word was very plain. Incredible. Incredible to have that original altar back in place. It really is. Again, on this north side of the church, original windows. There's one here and there's one at the west end of the church, which must have been the original windows before perhaps the north aisle was added. And there are a few plaques on the wall, but not a huge amount. Because sometimes I think when you see too many plaques on the wall, it actually spoils the church. And the ones that are here are fairly sort of simple plaques. But a lovely, lovely place to come to visit. I'm so glad we were able to get in, because this morning when they came to open these doors, the wooden doors, they couldn't get the key to work. Just now when I mentioned about this wall art, wall painting, I said it must have been uncovered by somebody, and Steve actually does have some information about that.
Yes, it was rediscovered in 1867 during a major restoration of the church, when two workmen quarrelled over a local girl, and in the ensuing brawl a stone was thrown which dislodged the filling of the recess.
Wow.
Thus obviously
exposing that which is. And how long had that been hidden for?
Well, yeah, that's right. That's medieval. It said the painting was about the time of King John.
Yeah.
So a long, long time.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Thank you, Steve. Excellent. So there we go, ladies, and that answered the question about how this was discovered. Sometimes they don't know. Sometimes it's just a question of when they're doing some repair works they are found. But then just up here, just above the wall art, it looks like there might have been something there as well on that panel. There was certainly a window there at some point. Just go by the shape of it, but that might be just an old bit of stonework in there. But yeah, amazing, fabulous place. Well, we've just finished going around the church of
St. Peter da Vincula. Vincula. Yes, is it? Vincula. Yes. Ad Vincula. St. Peter ad Vincula.
St. Peter ad Vincula. Oh, such difficult work.
Why can't it be St. Mary's like any other church?
But Beautiful church. If you've never been here, come and have a look round. It's fantastic. We loved it, didn't we?
Lovely.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Nice
So we're going to head off now to get some refreshments and something to eat. So this will be Kevin, Steve and Cynthia saying bye-bye, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
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 Bye.
If you've enjoyed this video on Kevin's Rambles YouTube channel, why not give him a subscribe and a like and comment on his videos? It'd be very much appreciated.